So Jimmy Dore has a great show called the Jimmy Dore Show. You guys all know about. He holds a lot of corporate Democrats to their, holding them accountable. Now it was Halloween on the day that of the video that I'm going to show you guys. That was when it was basically done, and it was during their broadcast. The Majority Report does their live stream every day, or I believe 5 days a week. Um, and it was Halloween. And so for the second half, what they decided to do was something pretty funny. I mean, this should be for anybody. Again, I'm a fan of the Jimmy Dore show, but this was funny. Okay, I mean, it was just a joke. I think that there's going to be some angry Jimmy Dore fans. I don't know why, because it's just a joke. One of the people that's getting memed in this is a complete, moron, so I'm glad they did that. So what they do is basically Michael Brooks plays Jimmy Dore, and they have like this show segment, and the guest that he has on, and he makes it clear that it's via Skype because that's how Jimmy does his guest interviews. Which, I mean, obviously there's nothing wrong with that, but he the dude's name is A. Seaman. Okay, I gotta hold my laugh. The person that he was memeing is Goodman, and it's hilarious because, as you're gonna see in the beginning, when Seaman is introducing himself, he's gonna give the super long-winded, like sort of like a rambling intro of himself. You know how when Goodman, he starts out all of his videos like this. He goes, "My name is Goodman. I'm an author, columnist, journalist, professional wanker," and it's like, holy smokes, dude! Like, why are you like? He's like, I was on the Noon League football team in third grade. I was I don't know, a hockey player in PE in seventh grade. It's like, yo, dog, we don't need to hear this every time you open your video. Just start the damn video. I don't need to hear that. I don't need to hear that over and over again. So they obviously were memeing that, and Sam looks kind of scary. Okay, he's gonna look pretty scary. So I'm gonna let you know that the lighting as well as the camera angle is pretty damn funny. But basically, they're gonna do like this little meme sketch that they do. Now, to my knowledge, by the way, Goodman and Jimmy Dore are no longer connected in any way, shape, or form. But Goodman is totally disgraced. He's horrible. He writes for the Daily Caller now. He just is a total. I don't even know what to call him. A sellout? Is that what you want to call him? I honestly don't know. What else could you call him? I guess, I don't know, not having any principles. The dude just totally flipped. And I'm glad he did because I don't like the guy. So I'm glad that he flipped. I don't want him on the left in any way, shape, or form. He's a complete imbecile. He's set to vote for the GOP altogether, even during the midterms, which is pure insanity. The dude is totally unhinged and a lunatic, and he has been for a long time now. And so I'm glad he flipped. And so I'm happy that he got dunked on. I'm happy that they made a meme character out of him because it was pretty damn hilarious. Now they're going to do a little funny joke here. Check it out.
And the Mopey Progressive. How is everybody?
Terrible as usual.
Terrible as usual, says the Mopey Progressive. And, of course, we got Todd Snowflake on the line. Got a lot to get to today, but, of course, for the special power hour, I got to first warn you, you're about to enter caution. You're about to enter a no fucking sellout zone. And joining me via Skype, he's a journalist. He's a guy who's done more to expose the corruption at the DNC than practically anybody. He's an independent. He's a guy who's also recently, we're going to talk about in a minute, he's getting smeared a lot by so-called progressives. I call them faux fucking aggressives because they're not, and they promote war. A. Seaman is with us from Skype. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Donnie. I just, as you know, I'm a journalist and an editor and an author and a radio personality, a producer and an auteur, showrunner, a certified public accountant, day laborer too. And a homemaker. I also do some search engine optimization and as well as solution coordinator and a content strategist and a user experience magistrate.
So AA, you do so many things, but
Yeah.
one of the things we know you for is exposing the corruption of the DNC, and so you go on all
I'm
sorts of
also a
platforms.
cobbler, and I also a creative director. Yes.
And also a creative. Wow. So that's amazing. So you go on a lot of different outlets to talk about the corruption of the DNC because, as we know, Bernie Sanders was going to win the election. He didn't blow the fire alarm, so they stole it, and now Donald Trump is president. But yesterday, or last week, I should say, you were on a show. I don't listen to this show. Apparently, it's called The Eternal Jew, which I guess is kind of a weird name for a show. I don't know. I don't listen to it. But you were there to talk about corruption in the DNC and how to end war.
For the revolution. At the top of my list of candidates who are most vulnerable to subversion, I've got Randy Bryce in Wisconsin. He's a fake progressive, which we know because he's running as a Democrat, who are all fake progressives. I think we know that. We know the Democrats bombed Yemen way before Trump. And so I'm just not seeing enough people talking about Randy Bryce's DUI. I saw a poll recently that only 15% of voters in his district have even heard of his DUI. I'd like to get that number down to about 5% if we can.
John, I've been talking about the DUI every
midterm.
fucking week. I talk about it every week, John. If the people don't respond to the DUI, they're not going to respond to the DUI. It's
a little cynical, but ultimately our goal here is revolution, and so we got to take out Randy Bryce no matter how we can, because there's nothing more dangerous than a fake progressive in Congress. And just real quick, I'd like to finish off with a list of my top 40 Green Party candidates right now running in midterms. And you might not have heard of any of these people, and none of them have a chance of winning at all in any way. But this is the only way we can send a message to the Democrats. So there's Jimmy Cooper, Austin Bashor, Kevin Alumbaugh, Bryce Miller, John Vigil, Christopher Allen, Guy Mignon, Brianna Johnston, Robert Collier, David Justice Arnold. And I guess I'd like to get your thoughts real quick on David Justice Arnold and what you think his chances are. Do you think he's going to break that 2% threshold that we're always looking for?
I'm hearing there's a lot of momentum in his district, and between the susceptibility to baseless conspiracy theories and general depression, voter apathy, and complete lack of civic engagement, plus also just good old-fashioned name misidentification, I'm hearing people say that he might actually get up to 2.5.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my polling's been saying, too. If you look at the numbers, I think there's a real chance he scratches that 2.5%. which puts us on a real good trajectory for 2020. Jill Stein, it looks like she's gearing up to run.
I hope so.
And we'll be right there to support her. Thanks for all you guys do. Okay.
Thank you, John. John, never a fucking sellout, never a single fucking sellout in the entire show. Thanks again for raging against the corporate machine with us in the no fucking sellout zone. A.A. Seaman, what are all the places that people can find you and your work?
Basically here.
All right, come on. You have to admit that was pretty hilarious. I thought it was pretty funny. And again, this is coming from a fan of Jimmy Dore. I'm a fan of Jimmy's show. And honestly, everyone should be able to get a good laugh out of this. I know this is sort of going to end up being like sort of a tribal fight in a way. But it really shouldn't be, because everyone should have a sense of humor and enjoy that, especially because one of the people they're memeing is a disgraced, lefty who's now completely flipped, which is great because, like I said earlier, he was a lunatic and unhinged for a while now, and I'm glad that he's not on our side anymore because he was making us look bad. Now, again, remember how I told you guys that A.A. Seaman was going to meme the H.A. Goodman intro? He did that. I thought it was done pretty well. I mean, he just sort of, lists off in abundance all these sort of random things, just like the way that H.A. starts out his videos where he goes, "My name is H.A. Goodman. I'm an author, columnist, journalist, and he lists off like an essay in the beginning of all his videos, and the craziest thing about it is it's not like a pre-recorded video. He says it every time he starts out a video, which is insanity. And so I thought that little thing was funny. Some of the other parts that I thought were pretty funny, where they bring up that Bernie wouldn't come on their show. I thought that was kind of funny. I do think that Jimmy seems to be like kind of butthurt over that. Like he seems, and I think that that's just wrong to change your opinion of said person because they won't come on your show. I feel like is sort of it's a bad move. But I thought that was funny. The part okay. The part that I thought was really funny, where a lot of people are gonna take this as like a big jab, like a low blow almost, but it was it was the part where the dude is the caller, is doing like the Green Party meme, where he's basically like, oh, I have all these candidates of the Green Party, and you probably don't know any of them, but you know, I think that according to our polling data, we'll be able to hit 2.5%. We'll hit the 2% threshold, and then be able to, you know, be set for 2020. I thought it was pretty funny. I mean, honestly, they probably did as good of a job as they could have done. And all I can really hope out of this is that Jimmy gets a laugh out of this. I'm sure Jimmy is watching that laughing. I'd really be shocked if he wasn't. Although I'm not 100% sure, but I definitely would hope that that would be the case. But there's no way to be sure. But again, as I said, this is something that should be considered humor on both sides of the, you know, aisle that we have going on here, where it's Jimmy and Sam. It should be considered humor on both sides because it's just a joke. It's just a joke. It was hilarious. And again, A.A. Seaman is making fun of H.A. Goodman, who is a massive, massive douchebag. But I recommend you go through and watch more of the actual video, because obviously I'm not going to place the whole thing in here, but I recommend you go and watch it because it was a pretty funny meme. I did think it was pretty creative, and I thought it was a pretty good idea for Halloween.